After training hundreds of high school baseball players, I can spot what the 1% do differently within the first 5 minutes. And it has nothing to do with their velocities, their metrics, or their stats. What most coaches and parents completely miss. And before we get started, my name is Evan Mendoza. I've played 7 years of professional baseball between the St. Louis Cardinals and San Diego Padres. I also spent 3 years at the Division I level at NC State University, and I went through the college recruiting process as a rising sophomore, junior, or senior. And here are the things that I wish I knew. It's not just about throwing harder. Everyone loves the radar gun. Everyone loves throwing 100 miles an hour or 90 miles an hour. And yes, those things can help, but there's going to be a certain time, whether you're at the college level or the professional level, where those metrics don't matter as much. What matters more is going to be what's up here. And it's also not about hitting home runs in batting practice or blowing up another exit velocity PR or anything like that. Yes, it helps to hit a high exit velocity, run a quick 60, but they are not the decision maker. What the top 1% of all high school baseball players actually do is they train their decision-making process. And let me explain. Whether it's pitch recognition work, situational awareness, and that overall baseball IQ, or just simply understanding the speed of the game. So for example, let's go one by one. Pitch recognition. You don't have to be in the batter's box hitting off of a real live pitcher to train pitch recognition. For example, when I used to watch big league games on TV, which you or your son probably do, what I typically would like to do is look at the count and look what probable pitch is coming next. So for example, if you're in an 0-2 count, you don't have to actually be standing in the batter's box to realize if the pitcher got ahead early, the next pitch might not necessarily be a strike. More times than not, these pitchers at a high level want a chase pitch. So for example, that's what I mean by pitch recognition. Now, situational awareness, again, can be done by watching the game or watching other teams play as you're in travel ball. There should be times where there's a first and third, and maybe there's a caught off, which a lot of people don't know. It's when they purposely get picked off to try scoring that runner from third, and there's a pickle between first and second. Little things like that I learned. We trained every single day with the St. Louis Cardinals and San Diego Padres, so when those things happen in the game, we are prepared. Now, last but not least, understanding game speed. It's something that infielders especially need to be training, especially when taking ground balls. Pretending like there is a runner running down the line to first base is something that's needed to be trained on day after day. Because if we're lollygagging and we're taking our time, fielding these ground balls, and we're not giving ourselves that emphasis of charging the ball or getting to the ball quicker, these are all things that are recipes for disaster in game. Because once there is a Speedy Gonzalez running down the line, more times than not, you didn't know that, and you also didn't know how to get rid of the ball quickly as an infielder, for example. So understanding the speed of the game is something that we can be training in practice day over day. So again, guys, these are just some things that I've picked up on how players will typically have conversations with me on what they're doing to fix their current issues. And let's be honest, there's no perfect baseball player out there. Don't ever try to, reason that your son or you are the perfect baseball player, because I can honestly say I was never the perfect baseball player in my entire life, in my entire baseball career. And understanding that good baseball problems will have problems to fix, and understanding what those problems are is what makes them a professional or a collegiate athlete. Rather, on the other side, I speak to high school athletes all the time that tell me that they're good at everything. They can play every position. And typically, that's one of those signs that you or your son might not be in the top 1% of all high school baseball players. Because the top 1% of high school baseball players train and act like college baseball players, and most importantly, they also act like the future professional baseball players that they will become. Now, if you like content like this, you can make sure to smash the subscribe button or click the link in the description to learn a little bit more on working one-on-one with me in my mentorship program. It is 100% remote, and I do focus on the 3 key areas. What am I doing with my hands? The 3 key areas in my program, which is physical development, mental development, and the recruiting guidance. And if you want that one-on-one mentorship directly from myself, click the link down below in the description to get started.